Hello everybody. I gotta fix me some soup for lunch today, and I thought today we'd fix some sausage soup. That's right, sausage. We're gonna start off with I had about a third, because you don't need much, a third of my sausage, great value sausage, that I'm gonna put in here. First, I got to put me some olive oil, just a little, because you know the sausage does have a little bit of oil. Turn this burner on. I just got out of the shower, so I was late getting up this morning. So I drank a cup of hot tea, and I ate one of my oatmeal cookies for breakfast. So now I'm working on lunch. Just gonna break this up. I don't know if you can see. I'm just breaking it up in the pot. I'll move it over here so you can see in my pot, hopefully. I'm going to have to turn my fireplace off over here. I'm getting a little warm. It's still rainy today, but we needed the rain, so I'm not complaining. When you're one person, it doesn't take much to make a pot of soup for yourself. I mean, this would be enough for 2 people, but so it'll be soup for a couple of bowls of soup for me. Now I'm also going to add some onion. I got about a half of a medium-sized onion that I've already cut up some. And it doesn't matter what size pieces. Just cut it up anyway. You can chop it up. You can do like I'm doing and just cut off pieces of it. Doesn't really matter. There's not rocket science to cutting up anything for a soup. But I'm going to brown my onion while I'm browning my sausage. So we're going to go ahead and let that cook. And I've got 2 medium potatoes here that I'm going to peel. and cut up. You can see right over here at the sink, I'm peeling them right here. And the peelings will go in the compost. I'm going to cut them in fairly small kind of cubes. I don't want them in too big of pieces. But you can fix yours any size you want. I'm going to go ahead and peel this other one. I probably don't even need the other one. But I'm going to go ahead and put the other one in there too. That'll give me enough soup for a couple of days. Or a couple of meals anyway. Wash that potato off. Let me go ahead and stir my mixture in here that I got cooking. We'll put a little bit of pepper in there on this. I like pepper. You don't have to put pepper if you don't want it. Personal choice. I'm going to go ahead and chop up a little bit of celery in here. Just one little stalk of celery. Go ahead and let that brown while I cut up the rest of my potatoes. Now, if you don't want that many potatoes in there, feel free to just put one big, good-sized potato in your soup. I want to brown this really good, and it'll help cook the celery and the onions at the same time. Now, I went out in the garden a little while ago and I got some perpetual spinach and a little bit of kale that I'm going to add. I don't need much because, you know, it's just one little pot of soup. And then I got my quart jar. Yep, that's right, it's salsa. I've got a little bit of jalapenos, not enough to make it hot. There's tomatoes, a little bit of cilantro, and that's going to be the base of my soup, y'all. I bet you've never heard of doing that. Scrape all that goodness off the bottom. I can do that with this wooden spoon because it doesn't damage the bottom of the pot. Because I don't want anything to burn, even though I want it good and brown. Now I'm going to add my tomatoes, or my salsa. And I'm doing that because it's got all the spices already in it that I wanted. And you know, this is the little bit of salsa that I made the other day. I'm going to put just a little bit of sugar, not much. I'm going to put some parsley flakes. About a half of a teaspoon. I'm going to put garlic salt because I'm not going to add any other salt. So this has got good salt in it, so that's what I'm going to put in there. And there's only about a half a teaspoon in there. Let's see. Well, a little more than a half. But it's pretty close. I'm going to go ahead and empty the container. And I'm going to put some Italian seasoning in. Just a couple of shakes of Italian seasoning. I'm going to bring that up to a boil. I'm going to add my potatoes. I dropped potatoes all over the... And I'm going to add a little bit of water. I picked only the tender leaves, and I'm just going to break them up a little bit and throw them right in here. Now you can just use crushed tomatoes if that's all you have. You don't necessarily have to use the salsa, but I had a lot of salsa that I made for the video, and I'm not going to eat all that. So I put it in my soup, like I said, because it's got all the other seasonings in it that I was going to put in there. Cilantro, a little bit of jalapenos, not much, because I don't like things real hot. I had already washed this, so you see it's all wet. It looks good already, y'all. It's not to the boiling point yet because those potatoes and everything else was cold that I put in there. Now you saw the spices that I put in here. You can spice it up however you want. One reason I didn't mind using the salsa with the jalapenos and things in it, because this recipe calls for hot pepper flakes. And rather than do that, I've already got the pepper in my salsa, which is my fresh tomato salsa. So basically I end up with the same thing in the end. So all we got to do now is cook the potatoes and cook those greens down a little bit. And we got our soup. And I want to taste it just for the seasoning. That's going to make some good soup, y'all. Yeah, if you prefer not to have jalapenos or any of those other spices, the cilantro and stuff in your soup, just use crushed tomatoes. I like the spiciness of the salsa, so I don't mind it in mine. Yeah, the Italian seasoning covers a lot. It's got oregano, thyme, rosemary, and basil and sage. So you've got those different ingredients right in your Italian seasoning. Now we're just going to cook that, like I said, until the potatoes are done. And then by then, all of these juices and herbs and everything will just all be kind of made friends with one another, as I call it. And it's going to be some good soup. If you like spicy. Like I said, if you don't like spicy, just use plain crushed tomatoes in yours and then add your seasonings as you like your seasoning. You know, your thyme, your rosemary, or just add the Italian seasoning, it'll be fine. You can put parsley flakes in it, whatever you like. You can even put a bay leaf in there if you like. In fact, I'm going to do that. I'm going to get me a bay leaf and put in there. See, I use a lot of great value products. Whoops. Put one bay leaf. And another option too, if you don't want potatoes in yours, you can put macaroni noodles or any kind of pasta in there you would like. I prefer the potatoes in this soup, this particular soup. I had my tea over here and I'm about to forget about it. But yeah, there's so many different combinations that you can do with your soups. It's coming to a boil, so I'm going to cover it. Turn down the heat just a tiny bit, and we're going to let it cook until the potatoes are done. When the potatoes are done, guess what? Our soup is done. Enjoy some hot tea with me. I'm back, y'all. I had to pull my hair back. It was still damp, but I can't handle my hair hanging down in my face when I'm trying to cook. I never have been able to tolerate that. At this point, I'm going to add just a little bit of chicken bouillon. And I've got the dried powder form, so I'm just going to put a little bit of this in there for seasoning. I tasted it and it just needed a little something. So I put 1 heaping tablespoon of chicken bouillon in there. I had already added that cup of water to everything, so now I'm just going to stir it up. But that is looking like some good soup. Now let me taste it again. That's good right there. Now, like I said, by the time our potatoes get done, our greens will be cooked. Everything will be blended together and be real good. And you know what? I've got some breadsticks. Let's see. I know I got some in here. I've got 4 breadsticks that I had. I had opened the box, and since I don't eat that much at one time, I had frozen part of them. I'm going to put them out on this plate to thaw up. Turn over there. There you go. But I'll go ahead and leave those over there to thaw up. And hopefully by the time my potatoes are done, they'll be thawed up enough that I can toast them a little bit. But those breadsticks will be real good with this type of soup. You can see them right here. It would make me think that I'm going to the Olive Garden for soup and salad. Only I'll have the soup and the breadsticks, but I won't have the salad. But I got my greens in my soup, so that'll be all right. Probably need to just put those in a little pan. Instead of that's good enough. I'm not going to get a great big old pan down. But yeah, I just want them to thaw out, so I'm going to put them over here where it's kind of warm and let them thaw out while that's cooking. And then I'll heat the oven up and we'll pop them in the oven and toast them a little bit. Let's check these potatoes. Well, they're not done. A little ways from it, but they're not done. That is going to be some yummy soup if you like spicy soup. And like I said, you don't have to make it with salsa. You can just put crushed plain tomatoes in there and then season it with your Italian seasoning, your thyme, your cilantro. You can put parsley flakes, bay leaves. Like I said, you can just use Italian season. Put a level teaspoon of Italian seasoning in there. But it's different. It's a little different than a normal soup. But it's really good. And on a cold day, this warms your tummy. It really does. It warms your tummy. I'm going to heat my oven till about 450, get it hot, so I can put those breadsticks in there. And I don't really like the pan. I'm going to get me a little pan, but it'll be big enough for that. I don't know why I didn't grab that one the first time. Makes more sense to put these rolls in a pan that they can lay flat down on. Or breadsticks, I call them rolls because they're basically a roll. But they've got butter, they've got parsley flakes, they got garlic seasoning and all kind of stuff on them already, so all you got to do is toast them a little bit, heat them up. I can't wait to try some of my pepper jelly. And if you'll turn your jars upside down while they're sealing, it'll help some of the peppers to go up to the top of there. So when you turn it upside down, all of your peppers are not at the top like that one. But it doesn't matter. It's all good no matter how it comes out. I mean, this is the way I would like it to have done. But you know, that's a little smaller jar. Potatoes about half done. I love to experiment with soups. I don't know about you, but I like to try all the different ways that you can put a soup together. Because there's no rule to soup. I mean, you can make any kind of soup you want. You can put any ingredients in your soup that you want, as long as you like what you got in there. And this is my salsa and sausage soup. Let me go ahead and put my bread in here. It'll help thaw it out while it's heating up to 450. But you know, like I've always told people, recipes are not set in stone. You can change up recipes. You can write your own recipe. As long as you like what you got in that recipe, that's all that matters. And you've come up with a new recipe. I do it all the time. I like salsa. I like greens. I like sausage. I like potatoes. So to combine them together in a good soup, You couldn't suit me any better. Well, we'll let that cook. Well, y'all, I gotta check my rolls in the oven. My breadsticks, they're done. Turn that oven off. I'm gonna turn my soup off because I'm pretty sure those potatoes are done. I've got my soup plate ready. Doesn't that look good? I want to get some greens in there. Maybe a few more potatoes. Does that not look good? Put a couple of these breadsticks over here. Woo! It's a little bit hot. Whoops. Now, get me a spoon. Come over here at the table. Turn it here at the table so I can eat my soup. Oh my. This smells so good. It smells heavenly, y'all. But it is so hot. And those breadsticks, Now that's a healthy soup. There's very little sausage in it. There's very little of all the different ingredients. And I didn't even have to put 2 potatoes. I could have put just 1. But I like a lot of potatoes in mine, so. I was trying to get me a little bit of everything on my spoon and try to cool it down. Dear Lord, bless this food I'm about to eat and bless all the YouTubers watching. Amen. Y'all take a bite. Take a spoonful of my soup. It's real good. Gotta let it cool though. Mmm. Mmm. One thing, if you add the chicken bouillon, the powdered bouillon like I did, don't put garlic salt in it earlier. Just use plain garlic. Because if you put the garlic salt plus the bouillon, it might get it a little bit salty. I mean, this is kind of salty, but it's not past the point where you can't eat it. It would have been better if I'd just put plain garlic instead of the garlic salt, since I added the chicken bouillon. If you got plain chicken bouillon, that hasn't been salted, the liquid kind, then go ahead and add that. You can put your salted garlic salt in there. It doesn't matter. Just, watch your salt levels if you're putting garlic salt plus your powdered bouillon, because the bouillon that's in the powder form is pretty salty. Well, I can't get hold of my roll, my stick. You might want to let your soup cool off a little bit. It's pretty good. But them spices are getting to me. I mean, I love the spices in it. But that's what's making me cough a little bit. No. This was so simple to make. Not that many ingredients, and it's so good. And my little breadsticks are so good. Take them out of the freezer and pop them in that pan in the oven to heat them up and toast them a little. Makes them perfect. It's like they're fresh baked. Y'all take another spoonful of my soup. Open wide. Y'all, that is so good. And you know, I've got a couple more bowls left in the pot. So if you're a single person and you don't want leftover soup, or maybe you just want 2 bowls of soup, just use 1 potato, use a little bit less tomatoes or salsa. Just use a few less ingredients. But for me, this is not too much soup. This is a small pot. I'll get a couple of more bowls of soup out of this. I'll have soup to eat tomorrow. I have a bowl of soup to eat tonight. Suits me just fine, y'all. This back over here. Yeah. Well, I was trying to get it so you can see my bowl of soup and see me too. But anyway, I'm going to sit down here and enjoy my lunch. Y'all try this soup. It's real good. If you like a spicy soup, use your salsa that you made, your homemade salsa, as your base, your liquid base for your soup. If you don't like the hot and spicy soup, just add plain tomatoes, crushed tomatoes, a can of them. A regular size can of tomatoes, 1 potato, a little sausage, spices, and you've got yourself sausage soup. So I'm going to sit down here and enjoy my sausage soup with salsa, and I'll see you on the next one. Love y'all. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today, and I'll see you on the next one. Love you. Bye.